Everyone knows that there's closing costs when you sell, but in Arkansas, there's several fees, expenses, and surprise charges that most homeowners never see until the day of closing. And some can cost you thousands. Now, I want to talk about why this matters, and most sellers are shocked when they hear this. In Northeast Arkansas, I see the same thing happening constantly. A seller says, well, why am I paying for that? They assume selling is simple. List, show, accept offer, and close. And what they don't realize is there's about 6 to 10 costs that can sneak up on you, especially depending upon your home, your timing, your buyer. They can add up fast. So let's walk through it with Northeast Arkansas examples so you're not surprised. The first hidden cost is title fees and owner's title insurance. In Arkansas, sellers commonly pay for the owner's title insurance policy, the title company closing costs, and the title search fees. In most homes in Northeast Arkansas, that runs around $800 to $1,500 depending upon the price of the home. Sellers rarely expect this because every state splits things differently. Now, of course, you can negotiate that it be split, but right now in today's market, it's not uncommon to see a buyer requesting that you pay for that. The second hidden cost is property taxes that you owe at closing. This one gets everybody, like we're not paying enough taxes already. Arkansas's taxes are collected arreared, meaning you pay for last year's taxes when you close this year. So if you close in March, August, November, you're actually still paying taxes for the months that you lived in the home. For many sellers, that's around $1,000 to $3,000 that they were just not expecting. All right, I cannot make a video about hidden cost and not talk about number 3, which is repairs or concessions after an inspection. This is the biggest wild card. I call it the dark hallway of uncertainty. If you've never sold a house before, the inspection period is usually the most stressful period for a seller. Now, there are certain things that we're doing in today's market for our sellers to mitigate the stress as much as possible. Send me a message if you want to know what we're doing there. After an inspection, buyers in Northeast Arkansas often ask for repairs, credits, price reductions, safety fixes, HVAC services, pest treatments, and roof adjustments. The average inspection repair usually costs our sellers somewhere between $5,000 to $4,000 if we don't do things properly up front. And most sellers never plan for this, but it's almost always a part of negotiations. Now, the fourth hidden cost is temporary utility bills. Small but sneaky. Even after you move out, you still need power, gas, electric, water. The lights must stay on for showings, inspections, appraisals, and final walkthroughs. This usually runs about $100 to $400, but most sellers don't think about it. The fifth hidden cost on selling a home in Northeast Arkansas right now is the appraisal gap concessions. Let me tell you why pricing a home correctly when you list it matters so much. Can you imagine you sit on the market for 65 days, you finally get an offer that's maybe not even perfect, but you go under contract anyways because you're ready to sell it. Then you make it through the inspection period where you put all kinds of sweat equity into fixing the home properly for the buyer, all for you to get an appraisal, and the amount that the buyer was actually willing to give you ended up becoming less. Now the buyer tries to get you as the seller to do what? Drop the price. So usually if a buyer's appraisal comes back less than what they agreed to give you, they either try to get you to lower the price, split the difference, or give a concession. Even in Northeast Arkansas' stable market, we're still seeing appraisals lag or come in less than what the buyer and seller agreed upon, even in some of the best neighborhoods. And this can cost anywhere between $1,000 to $10,000 if you do not price your home correctly. Number 6 is pre-closing touch-ups. Sellers often spend money getting their home ready for carpet cleaning, pressure washing, minor repairs, fresh paint, light fixtures, staging, landscaping, and even deep cleanings right before closing. Most sellers will spend about $300 to $1,200 on touch-ups just to try to get top dollar on their property. All right, the next one is mortgage payoff surprises. All right, 2 parts here. Your final mortgage payoff might be different than your current balance. Remember, there's interest added daily up until closing. And some loans have escrow shortages, especially whenever taxes and insurance go up. This can make your payoff hundreds and maybe even thousands different than what you expected. All right, the next one is buyer incentives, which have been increasingly common over the past couple years. In a shifting market, sellers might offer rate buydowns, buyer's closing costs, appliance packages, and repair allowances. These incentives might help your buyer become qualified or just give them a lot more comfortability moving forward with your home, but they still end up coming out of your bottom line. So right now, you could budget anywhere between $1,000 to $10,000 depending upon how aggressive you want to be. All right, number 9 is moving cost and overlap housing. If your next place isn't ready or you're not doing a contingent deal, you might have to pay for an Airbnb, storage, hotel stays, and of course, even moving companies. These could run anywhere between $500 to $3,000 depending upon timing. All right, I know that was a lot, but here's the good news, and seriously, even with these hidden costs, or maybe costs that you just didn't expect to pay, homes in Northeast Arkansas still sell very profitably, as long as you plan for these up front. The truth is, when sellers know the real numbers up front, they end up making better decisions, negotiate confidently, and avoid stress. I walk my sellers through every single one of these before we list their home, so nothing catches us off guard. Now, of course, it's still their decision to either comply or plan with it, but at least we have to do our job in letting you know the real cost, not just what our commission is. So most people ask the wrong question by saying, what's my home worth? When they should be saying, what's my net number after I sell it for this price? So if you want a full price breakdown on not just what your home's gonna sell for, but actually what your net number is after you sell, specific to your home, your loan, your taxes, your neighborhood, feel free to shoot me a message real quick. All my information's down below. I can help bring clarity to the real cost when selling a home in Northeast Arkansas. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you got something out of it. If you haven't already, make sure to click subscribe for more videos like this. And of course, if you need a realtor here in Northeast Arkansas, feel free, send me a message. My name's Talon at Keller Williams Realty.